Hey guys, welcome to Homestead Hopes. Today we've got a minor problem, but it's no big deal. We're going to take care of it right now. We've got what you call early blight forming on our tomatoes. It can be detrimental to your tomatoes, but we're going to put a stop to that right now. So today what we're going to use, we've just got a simple household sprayer. These are very cheap. You can get a gallon sprayer, 2-gallon sprayer for about $5 or $10 at your local hardware store or even Walmart. Then we're going to put in what we call neem oil. Neem oil is a copper-based fungicide, and copper fights the blight on the tomatoes. Tomato blight is nothing more than a fungus that splashes up from your soil when it rains or whenever you water your plants. It's a natural fungus that lives in the soil, but once it splashes onto those plants, it'll start turning those leaves brown and it'll begin to kill the plant. And you may even get a good harvest of tomatoes, but those tomatoes will actually begin to rot before you get them off the vine. So they're basically worthless. They don't taste right and they don't grow properly. So we're going to take care of that today. So you're going to use 2 ounces or 4 tablespoons of this neem oil to a gallon of water. You're going to mix it up and you're going to focus on the base of the plant, and you're also going to get under the leaves, and you can spray it on virtually anything in the garden. It won't hurt anything. It also repels some pests as far as moles, rabbits, things of that nature that like to get in your garden. They don't like the smell of this because it has a very strong copper smell to it. So once we get that neem oil on, we're going to surround the base of the plant with this mulch, and that will help to protect the plant whenever it rains or when you water. When any water splashes up, it won't be splashing the fungus from inside the soil up onto the base of the plant. So we've also got plans for this diatomaceous earth. This is food grade diatomaceous earth. We do struggle with squash bugs sometimes in our garden. Especially on our melons, squash, obviously, because they're called squash bugs, but they will get in and they are what you call a vine borer. So they'll first begin eating the leaves of your plant, and then they will get into the vine if you don't get rid of them, and they will bore down deep into the vine and they will rot the plant. They can completely destroy a healthy zucchini or squash plant within 24 hours. It will be completely dead and you can't bring it back to life. So we're going to address all those issues today. We're going to take care of these pests and keep our great garden looking healthy. So let's go. Okay guys, I wanted to give you a visual of what blight looks like on a tomato plant. This tomato plant is a healthy plant. As you can see, we've already got some little tiny tomatoes coming on the vine. If this plant were any shorter than this, I would have plucked these flowers, because these flowers are a sign that it's going to start directing all of its energy into making these little tomatoes. So if it were smaller, I would have taken those off and it would not have harmed the plant at all. It just would have forced it to put more energy into growing the strength of the plant and making it taller and stronger to hold these big tomatoes. So here's the visual. If you look right here, this tomato plant looks seemingly healthy. Now, if you come over here to this tomato plant, this is early blight. You see how this is turning yellow and it's got almost these bullseye looking spores all over it? That's the blight. That's the powdery mildew, the mold. That's the bad stuff coming onto this plant and trying to kill it. So, easy solution to fix this is you're just going to take your fingers and pluck it off, or you can take scissors. And what I always do is you get behind where the blight is and you'll just take that off. Now, one thing important to know, when you have blight on your leaves like this matter needs to be disposed of away from anything in the garden, because it will continue to multiply and get all over everything if you don't get it as far away from these plants and the rest of these plants as you can. So sometimes I will burn these. Otherwise, I might take them way across into the pasture and just throw them where they're not going to be anywhere near the garden. Another tip is some people think, well, that's compostable matter. I can just throw it in my compost heap. That's not a good idea. This will contaminate your heap and cause it to set and multiply the fungus in there. And then you've got contaminated compost that you want to throw onto your plants. This is not a good idea. So we got to get this away from these tomato plants the best we can. So we've got, this one's a good leaf. We've got one right here. We're going to take that off. We've also got some here. And I don't necessarily have to take the entire stem off. I can just cut up behind where the blight is and just take that part off. And it will be perfectly fine. It will regenerate itself. It will do what it's supposed to do and come back to life. I'm going to take off all of this yellowing looking leaves on all these plants and make sure that we don't have any that's able to thrive and live in here. Another thing, you see how these leaves are touching the ground? That is not good. That is where they pick up the blight from the ground. So honestly, this little guy, it's not doing anything. So we need to take that off. Even though that's not really contaminated, it's going to interfere with the strength of this plant. You want this to get as tall as it can, and you want to begin to bury these. You can bury these clear up to here just to anchor the plant into the ground more, where it can hold those big tomatoes on there and not fall over later in the season. Another thing, this little guy can be a new tomato plant. All you have to do, it's got these little bumps. I don't know if you can see those. These are little roots that are on this stem. You can stick this into the ground and have a brand new tomato plant. So I do that a lot of times. Instead of going and buying new plants, I'll just use these little guys, shove them in the ground, and before you know it, they'll be a big, beautiful, healthy plant just like this one. So I'm going to continue going down the line and trimming off all of the contaminated leaves and give these guys a haircut just to make sure that they're going to be healthy enough to hold those big tomatoes. So let's go. Okay, now that we've pumped up our sprayer, we're going to go ahead and put this neem oil on these plants. So we're going to start by focusing around the base of the plant. You can get it on the plant, it won't harm it at all. So we've got that one treated. We're going to go ahead and treat this one as well, and all of these on down the line. And again, this is a copper-based fungicide, so it will fight all of that blight that's coming in this soil. But focus on the bottom of the plant, because that's where you want to protect it and kill that mold and powdery mildew. And yes, it does stink. It has a horrible smell, but that's also what repels those rodents like moles getting in here and digging up underneath our plants and causing all kinds of chaos with their growing. And as you can see, one pump will keep your sprayer pumped up for quite some time. It gives you just enough air to keep your flow moving consistently out of your sprayer. So here's our last one. It's got some really pretty little tomatoes on it already. All right, so now let's move on to putting mulch around the base of the plant. Okay, now that we've got our neem oil applied to the tomato plants, we're going to take this mulch and we're going to spread it around the base of the plants just to give them that added protection. You want to get it as close to the plant as you can, just to protect against anything splashing up and trying to get on the leaves of those plants. Just like that, this little guy is protected, and these little guys can get to their biggest and best potential. I also wanted to show you guys, we've got some wonderful zucchini coming up. It's looking great. Another reason why we're going to put some diatomaceous earth on these is because we've got some bugs getting on here and eating holes in the leaves, as you can see. That's not good. And we've also got a rabbit that's getting in here. And this rabbit is eating the tops of the plants off. So you can see he took a good bite of that one. So anyways, we're going to get this diatomaceous earth spread around these, just around the base. That's going to help to protect them against those squash bugs and any other rodents that want to get in here and have a quick snack. Okay, so Dallas, what did you find again?
A grub worm.
Let's see that thing. Ooh, juicy. Go ahead and toss it in there to the girls. Oh boy, that thing didn't stand a chance. You girls are getting it. Hear their battle cry? So with all the rain, it's getting time to start adding more mulch to the garden. It's washed out a lot of the mulch. So we're going to go ahead and get this couple of wheelbarrows full and go over here and spread it in the garden. Okay, now that we've got our tomato plants taken care of for the day, it's time to address these potatoes. Now, these potatoes are getting huge, and I'm going to try to step here without sinking because we've gotten a lot of rain lately. These potatoes, it's time to start burying them. That's what we call the hilling process. We have to get dirt on top of them to get that dirt mound at least up to here, because if you don't bury your potatoes, yes, they're growing in the ground, but they are actually at risk of becoming sunburnt and drying out, which would produce at harvest a green potato. I don't know if you know this, but a green potato is actually poisonous. They're no good. You can't even eat them. So to ensure that doesn't happen, we're going to throw some of this loose soil on top of these plants and make sure that they're deep enough in the ground where they can be protected from the hot sun. So let's go ahead and get started burying these guys. Predators out here today helping us out in the garden. Molly, what do you have to say? She's the predator, guys. Our little Molly. And this is Ringo. Ringo, say hi. This is Molly's son. He's so much bigger than her, but good boy. Everybody knows Axel. He's always out here helping us with the chickens in the garden. Say hi, Axel. Okay, so we've got our potatoes hilled. They're looking really good. We sprayed everything in the garden with the neem oil. So now we're going to put this diatomaceous earth. It's food grade, so it is safe for our plants. It won't hurt anything when we harvest fruits and vegetables from the plants. Just got to rinse them off with water and they're perfectly able to be eaten. But we're going to get this opened up. We're going to spread it around the base of our squash plants. I'm going to go ahead and put it on our potatoes as well. That will give added protection against those bugs that want to come in and eat our plants and ruin the growth process. So let's go ahead and get this diatomaceous earth down. Okay, guys, it's been a long day. We did a lot in a small amount of time. It's starting to get hot out here. It's about, the high for today is going to be 80 degrees, and it's every bit of that right now. So we finished putting down our pesticides, our fungicides, and doing some extra mulch around the plants because with the rain that we've had lately, we are washing away with mulch. So we definitely have to put that back on there for weed control because we don't want to be out here having to pull weeds. It's not fun in the 110-degree plus weather with the humidity here in Oklahoma. So we've got that done. There's more to come. If you guys enjoy watching the content that we post, please consider liking and subscribing. If you have any tips and tricks, leave it in the comments so we can read those and we can go through there and address each and every one of you. We take everything that you put in there to heart, and we are not above trying old remedies, old wives' tales, anything you can think of. Comment below and let us know what you think about the content we're putting out. So I've collected some eggs today from the girls. They're probably going to be laying some more eggs shortly. Usually by the end of the day we get about 8. So far I've got 5. There's actually 6. There's one in there that's still warm, so I'm going to leave it so the bloom will be intact and I don't mess with the outside structure of the egg by taking it too early. It actually needs to sit in there and cure for a little bit so the shell will be hard and it won't bust just as soon as I take it in the house and put it in my egg collecting tray. So again, thank you for watching Homestead Hopes. Join us next time where we'll be probably doing some more things with the chickens, tending to the garden some more, and who knows, we may have something else up our sleeve. You'll just have to tune in to find out. So bye guys, see you next time.